Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. So it's been a while since I filmed. I also look very interesting right now, but we are just going to ignore that. I have been spending the past week or so packing. Today is the last day before we move the rest of our stuff because we're moving from the apartment where we were staying for the interim to our actual house. So the last thing that I have to pack are my books, and I didn't get the chance when we moved from Windsor to Montreal to film the process of packing my books just because it was a lot. So today I actually wanted to film that process for you guys, and I know a lot of you guys had asked how I do it, which I don't really do anything special, but I still think it might be helpful for you guys to see the process. So I'm literally wearing like the baggiest, comfiest shirt right now and just gross leggings and everything, and that's what we're dealing with right now because moving is exhausting and having everything in boxes means that this is just what you get. So yeah, I'm really excited to like set up the office and everything. So I'll probably do videos of how that's going to happen because this is the first time that I'm actually like moving somewhere where I know I'm going to be staying permanently. So we're going to be doing some fun things with the shelves and everything. So I will follow you guys along with that process. Did that make sense? I don't think that was proper English, but I'm tired. So I just wanted to pop in here for a second to say a big thank you to the sponsor for today's video, Endel. The Endel app has been a lifesaver over the course of this move. I have been so stressed with everything that's been going on, and it is really made to help you relax and focus on what you need to do. And I have been having such a struggle with that because of stress and anxiety, and it really just makes me feel more level-headed. Whether you might be having trouble sleeping or focusing, or you're feeling stressed and anxious, or you might need some help with studying, Endel has a soundscape that can help you to achieve your goals. So it's really cool because it's based on science and it combines sound and science to have the maximum focus possible and help you do whatever you need to do. So there are different soundscapes for studying, there's ones for relaxation, there's one for focusing and then sleeping. So all those different modes to help you do exactly what you need to do. I find that the sounds around me do make a huge difference in how I'm feeling, and I have found this app to be super effective into getting me into the mindset that I need to be in to focus on a task, and especially to relax, like to wind down and not feel so stressed out. I will just take a second and listen to a soundscape and I just feel a lot better and a lot more calm. Endel also has some patented technology. It has an AI powered technology that will go by your heart rate and adapt to real-time personal inputs such as that heart rate or your location, the weather, those sorts of things. It also takes into account circadian rhythm and is neuroscience backed. I love the fact that there is so much science behind it and you can see exactly how it works. So it's kind of like proof right there that it does actually work and is very well thought out. So with that, you can see it will give you like you're at your morning energy peak or you're at your midday energy fade. It will kind of say where you're at and give recommendations for what soundscape will work for you based on that, which I think is super cool. So if you guys were interested in checking out Endel, I would highly recommend it. I think it's super cool and definitely very useful, especially with the school year starting again. I think it will be really helpful to kind of tune out the distractions around you and have a routine where you listen to a soundscape, get studying or get working, whatever you need to do. I think you'll see a big difference. And not only helping with studying, but it also can help you to relax and wind down from the stress of studying afterwards. Endel has been kind enough to offer the first 100 people who click the link in my description box down below a free week of listening to soundscapes. So definitely check it out. I highly recommend it, and thank you so much once again to Endel for sponsoring today's video. So yeah, let's get to packing the books. It really doesn't take that long. I'm not sure exactly how many boxes it's going to take because I still have some books that are packed from the first time I was packing. I didn't unpack everything because I knew we weren't going to be here permanently. So I don't remember how many like boxes it took, but I will let you guys know. And also time-wise, I think it took me like half an hour last time. It might take a little bit longer now because I'm going to be filming it and everything, but it really doesn't take that long because I feel like personally, books are one of the easiest things to pack because they are mostly the same shape. Like obviously you do have some that are different heights and everything, but once I get into a groove of it, it's super easy. It's not like kitchen stuff where you have to like wrap everything individually and everything. I just, you know, you just throw them in a box and it's not odd shapes or anything. It works out really nicely. So as far as how I keep my books from getting damaged, I really don't do anything that special. I haven't had any of the books, I mean, at least so far from what I've unpacked, I haven't had anything get damaged and it's been fine, but I'm also like not worried about keeping my books in complete pristine condition. They just kind of, it just ends up like that. But I'm not like doing anything special to do that. But let's just get into this stuff, okay? I also don't have this set up on like my actual tripod, so the angles are gonna be kind of weird. Sorry. Obviously books can be heavy, so I choose to pack in a U-Haul small box. I find that that works the best for me. They do have specific book boxes, but I've never used those. I always use the small boxes. It's nice because they have handles. I did want to mention that those book boxes would probably be better for heavier books. So anything like cookbooks or like my Barnes & Noble Classics editions, those sorts of things, and my entire Alice collection. I actually ended up getting some boxes. My boyfriend brought some from work that were a bit smaller. So I packed those in those smaller boxes because they're heavier. But just my main shelves, those books are obviously they're heavy, but like they aren't overwhelmingly heavy. But if you were to like fill a small box with the Barnes & Noble Classics editions or any heavy books like that, it definitely would not be plausible. So I would recommend those book boxes that I was talking about for those bigger books like that. I hope that made sense and I'm not over explaining everything. Like the handles aren't the strongest, but when I tape the box, I will kind of reinforce them. But the boxes are super easy to build and everything, and I've reused them. Like some of these, it'll be like the third time. So I actually have some in the corner here that I have already used. So you can see the handles do kind of go on them, which is why I have some brand new ones, just because I will use the ones with broken handles for lighter things throughout the apartment and everything. But for the books, I didn't have enough that were left over that I could salvage to pack everything. So using new ones that still have their structural integrity is helpful. So I'm just gonna tape this. Of course, I run out of tape right at this moment. So when I'm taping the bottom and everything, I do this with kind of most boxes, but just to give you a better perspective here, I will tape it a couple of times to make sure that it is reinforced. Since I'm going to be putting heavier things in here, I wanna make sure that it's actually going to stay. I also will say getting one of these like tape holder thingies, it's a game changer. It is so much, like it's so helpful. It makes everything so much easier. So that way you can make sure it's like nice and tight, but I will probably use about 3 pieces of tape at least. And what I'll do is I'll kind of have some on the side, and then one right down the middle to like reinforce it. I know this might seem obvious and like stupid that I'm telling you all of this, but a lot of you guys asked questions, so that's why I'm kind of walking through the baby steps and everything. I don't really know the best way to show you this, so I'm sorry if the angle is weird, but just to kind of give you an idea of what's happening. So I will pack by color because obviously my shelves are rainbow colored and I always shelve them by color. So for me, it makes sense. Like if your books are alphabetical, then you'll want to pack them that way, but it doesn't stay perfect because there are like different shapes. So you have a tall book here, you have a shorter book here, and because of that, eventually it will kind of bleed into each other, but as best as I can, I will try and keep one color together. They do kind of mix, and then when I'm unpacking, as you guys will see, and as you guys have seen in my unpacking videos, I will just put out all the colors and then I'll go through and like make sure it's in the right order and everything. So it does make the unpacking process a lot easier. I usually start with red because like I'll just go across. So I guess I'm gonna stand out for this part and then just put the stuff down here. I'm really sorry about all these angles. So you're probably only going to be able to see half of my head, but what I'm going to start with are these hardcovers. These are like the standard size hardcovers, and I feel like this is what I have the most of. So what I'm gonna do in the box is I'm going to put 2 stacks of them next to each other, like so. Then I'm gonna take a couple of taller books, and those are going to go like spines up, if that makes sense, right next to it in the space. So I can fit 3 of them here, and that's exactly what I have right now. I hope that you guys can see this well. I'm really sorry. I actually feel like it's just gonna be easier if I pick it up. So as you can see, we've got those 2 there, and then we have some of these taller hardcovers that are going to go there. Now with the leftover spaces, I'm going to fill it with some more of the taller hardcovers because they are kind of the harder ones to do. And essentially, I'm just gonna see like how it fits best and how I can fit the most. This layout is generally what I find works the best. So just having 2 hardcovers, then some taller ones here, or sometimes I will put shorter ones and I will double stack them and then have these taller ones here. I really don't know how to describe this. That's just what's happening. So I'm basically just going to continue and finish up this box, and then I will let you know how it turned out, because I think this is exactly how I did it, but now I'm kind of questioning it, but I will let you know. Okay, so I figured out what I was doing wrong, so I'm gonna show you exactly what is up in here. So as previously mentioned, we've got the 2 like standard size hardcovers / paperbacks also fit there. So what I was doing wrong before is that I had the 2 tall stacks here, but what I actually do is the tall ones on the bottom I will lay down, because then I can double stack it and it's a better use of space that way. So I can fit these books here. And then over here, I'll just kind of have some that are leaning, or I can stack some of these. So like you can see, I have all of that stacked, and now I have room here to put some more books. So this tall book will go in another box. That's kind of where things get a little bit mixed up, but this is the way to like economize space. The best is to be able to stack things pretty much. I think the one thing with worrying about damaging your books, you want to kind of be more careful with the paperbacks. As you can see, they're the ones that I think are the most vulnerable, but also you're going to want to be careful here. So because it's heavy, I would recommend wrapping some tape on the inside here, but the issue with that is you're going to want to be careful to not tape the cover of the book. It does happen sometimes. It's not the end of the world, honestly, but just that's where I would be cautious. But do make sure to reinforce the handles, because then they will have a better chance of lasting, but still be careful with the handles, because obviously it's still cardboard and you've got a lot in it. But that is like a full shelf goes in one box, and then I also have some more. So probably a shelf and a half fits in one box. So I'm just going to continue with my packing. I hope this kind of answered some questions for you about exactly how I packed. I'm just going to do a speed through of the rest of the process. So actually, I'll tell you about taping once again. So I use at least 3 strips of tape along the top, and it's not too heavy. Like, it's heavy, but it's nothing unmanageable. It's a reasonable weight, which is really the goal. It's easier to pack these than like my collector's editions or stuff, because those are solid and heavy. But since this is a mix of like paperbacks and everything, it's not too bad. But what you want to do, obviously, you want to, oh, I just realized it's all in French. I mean, it makes sense because of where I am, but I just realized that the other ones had Spanish on it, which is weird. Anyways, you want to label things, and I will label it as many places as I can. So I just put BKS instead of writing books, because I guess that saves like 2 seconds of my life, but I will just label it by color in 3 spots. Realistically, I honestly could even leave out books, because I know that anything that's packed by color, it's a book, but just for other people, so then they know what it is, that's why I put books. So now I'm actually going to speed up and do this thing. Hi, sorry, it's me again. I have another pro tip for you. So once you start filling boxes, I would start putting the empty boxes on top of here, especially if you're doing the top shelves. It helps to save your back a little bit, because you won't have to lean down so much. So I will probably have like 3 or 4, and then I will put them back on the floor. But just so then I'm kind of filling them, sealing them, they stay in the one spot, and it also makes it so I don't have to lean down so much. Also, it doesn't necessarily have to be tall paperbacks that you stack next to the 2 regular sized hardcovers. You can do just regular size and then you'll be able to stack them too. So that is not so much a like space saver. It's more so the ones that you're putting here, you want them to try and be tall ones, so then it takes up the most amount of space and then you don't have wasted space. So this box is pretty much like the ideal packing scenario. Actually, I can fit another one there. Let's grab something. Will it be too big? I don't know. We're gonna find out. Nope, we're good. Okay, so this is pretty much the ideal. I have used as much space as I possibly can in this box. We've got 2 regular sizes here, and then underneath there we have some tall ones. So I could put tall ones on top as well, but I'm not so worried about that. I have a couple of tall ones here because they take up more space, so vertically it makes more sense. I don't think anything of how I'm describing this really makes sense, but I'm trying. And then here I decided to stack some regular ones on top of each other. So this is kind of the optimal scenario for taking up as much space as I possibly can. And now for real, I'm just going to do a speed through. I have nothing else to share. That is it.
Got myself up in the backseat, driving to you on the back streets. All the other ones are asking, but I don't give a fuck, they nasty. I'm just trying to find you, cause I don't got no ties. We're running out of time, so I'll be home tonight. I'm coming home, come right back to me. I'm coming home, yeah. I just wanna see you, wanna be with you right now. Why would I leave you? Cause I need you here right now. I just wanna see you, wanna be with you right now. Wanna be with you right now. Cause I'm coming home, yeah. Cause I'm coming home, yeah. Got me staring out the window, only seconds till I get home. Then we can let go. We're going up to the bedroom. It's been so long, baby, and your love might save me. Cause it feels like I'm home when I'm with you. I'm coming home, come right back to me. I'm coming home. I just wanna see you, wanna be with you right now. Why would I leave you? Cause I need you here right now. I just wanna see you, wanna be with you right now. Wanna be with you right now. Now I'm home with you, now you're home with me. I'm holding you, feels just like a dream. It was always true what you said to me. We were meant to be, I'll never leave. And now you see I mean it. It feels like home, you're right next to me. It feels like home.
Lately I've been thinking about the choices I have made and doubt the life I've chosen for myself. I wonder how it would pan out if I stuck to the status quo and stayed in England. Never know, but when I see my friends, I see them with this golden glow. It seems they can touch the rainbow. I guess I'll never know, never know, never know. Would that be me if I'd stayed in my city? Bright blue and green, is that how my life would be? Is that how my life would be? And often we're reminded to enjoy each day and find it in ourselves to show some gratitude for every moment through and through. I try so hard to just be present, mom will slip the adolescence. I can't help but wonder, but I guess I'll never know it. What the other book looks like. Oh, wouldn't that be nice if that was me? If I'd stayed in my city. Red, blue, and green. Is that how my life would be? Is that how my life would be?
My state of being has just deteriorated throughout this whole thing, but we're done. All of the books are packed and everything. So it took 17 boxes, and I don't really know how long it took because there were some things happening while I was doing it. So one, I was teaching my boyfriend how to play Sims, so if you saw me talking, that's what was happening. And then there also was a problem with the U-Haul that we were trying to figure out, but it is all done. So they are all packed and everything. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope it helped you out. If you have any other questions about packing, I can try and answer them, or other people are also very helpful. They have some tips to keep your book safe if you're really worried about that. But in my experience, they've been fine with how I move them. I also wanted to once again give a big thank you to the Endel app for sponsoring today's video. Don't forget to check them out in the link down below. Oh, also, I'm filming this last bit on my phone because my camera battery died while I was doing this, so I didn't get to show you guys the entirety of packing, but I did my best and I filmed some of it on my phone, so I apologize for that, but there really was nothing I could do. So thank you guys once again so much for watching, and I will see you in another new video soon. Bye!